What's up, OTAKUNAUTS? Welcome to the OTAKUNAUTS Anime Podcast, an anime podcast for cultured men and women. Previously on OTAKUNAUTS, we talked about football anime such as Blue Lock, Captain Tsubasa, Inazuma 11, and many more. I had so much fun talking with you guys last time about that. If you want to check out that episode, head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. If you enjoyed that discussion as well, please follow us on your preferred social media platform by searching Otakunuts. And to everyone watching live or tuning in via the podcast, thank you for joining us and thank you for listening wherever you are. We really do appreciate it. In this episode, we're giving our thoughts on the anime Overlord, the first season, an isekai anime in which I have only recently watched and thoroughly enjoyed. If you've watched this anime or any other isekai anime, please do drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear. I'm your host, Sir RV, but let me introduce to you the rest of the Floor Guardians. First
Oh
up,
God.
he has more charisma than Pandora's actor. It's Sir Marky Mark.
Si Pandora talaga eh. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of OTAKUNAUTS. I'm one of the hosts, Marky Mark. Today we're going to talk about 2015's famous anime Overlord. So me and the guys are going to talk about things in this anime and share our opinions. So yeah, sit back and relax. Tapos, enjoy the show. Also, if you have comments, yun nga pala, please comment down below. Thank you.
Salamat, Sir Mark. Next up, he gives every conversation a demiurge level analysis. It's Sir Joel.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. This is Joel here on the OtakuNauts podcast, doing a deep dive on the famous anime Overlord Season 1. And we really look forward to the discussions, not just among here in the panel, but also with you guys here in the audience. Make sure that you leave your comments, not just on the live, but also afterwards, because we're always going to do our very best to answer them and reply to them, and possibly even listen to the suggestions for future episodes. Back to you, RV.
Thank you, Sir Joel. And lastly, he's more devoted to this podcast than Alberto is to Lord Ainz. It's Sir Joel.
Say hi, everyone.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Otakunaut. I am one of the floor guardians of the Otakunauts. I'm Joe. And Guggen Talk and all that. Alrighty,
Oh
let's
my
go.
goodness. Okay.
Thank you, Floor Guardians, for joining me. I'll start by giving a short synopsis about Overlord. So, it is the year 2138. In that year, there exists something called a DMMORPG. This stands for Dive Massively Multiplayer Online Role Playing Game. You play this game while connected via an intercranial nanocomputer network called a neuro-nano interface, which combines the best of cyber and nanotechnology. Basically, players experience physical sensations. Yeah, basically VR, as if they were actually, in other words, as if you were actually in the world of the game. Among all the variations of DMMO RPGs that had been developed, one game stood out above the rest, Idrisil. Now imagine you're playing this online game for years. You've built an amazing guild. You've collected some powerful gear. You've created some enormous dungeon filled with terrifying non-playable characters, aka NPCs. And then on the very last day of the game's existence, you decide to stay until the servers shut down. So you sit there until the very last second. And instead of getting logged out, congratulations, you've been isekai'd. That's how basically the first episode of Overlord begins. Our protagonist.
Where's the truck?
Oh yeah, Truck was
There's no truck.
surprisingly absent from this episode. But anyway.
I think he forgot to answer the casting call.
Yes.
Like the casting director was like, "Where's the truck? The truck was running late." I think Truck-kun was isekaiing someone else before he got to be in studio. So
His,
you know what?
His
Let's do it
appointment
without
book-
him.
His appointment book is completely full, considering so many isekai animes that have come
Yeah.
out in the past decade. Yeah.
He was running over some other dude.
Oh yeah. Anyway, continue, RV.
Yes, so like the main protagonist of this anime is Momonga. He's the
Momo.
leader of the legendary guild Ainz Ooal Gown, and he's expecting to spend the final moments in Yggdrasil surrounded by memories of his friends. Instead, he wakes up still in the undead skeleton body character inside the great tomb of Nazarick. And all the NPCs that Momonga and his guildmates created now have their own distinct personalities and
Mm.
absolute loyalty to him. Momonga takes on a new identity, the name of their guild, Ainz Ooal Gown, and this is where Overlord becomes much more interesting than your typical power fantasy. Basically, Lord Ainz is ridiculously powerful. He's basically a walking nuclear weapon, which we find out in season one. My initial thought after watching, season one of Overlord is that I like the story, I like the concept. It reminds me of doing, side quests when you're kind of too overpowered, and you just go back to kind of the start of the story and just do simple side quests, and you just none of the enemies can hurt you. But yeah, I maybe want to ask Sir Mark your initial thoughts and about this game. And would you play this game if there was in real life?
Of course, ang ganda siguro ng laro na yan if ever, ano. I mean, what year was that? It's 21
21
something.
something, yeah.
Yeah, 21 something, blah, blah. And of course, pucha, galing tayo sa MMORPG games eh. So, I'd play that game. Syempre, why not? Also,
Mhm.
I'd pick a class wherein, of
Mm.
course, it will mirror myself. So maybe a brawler type class. Parang
Oh,
maganda.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, nice, nice. You, Sir Joel, what type of class, if you were to play this, would you pick?
Me? I would, well, I'm partial to long range
Oh.
attacks. I've always loved causing maximum damage from the maximum range. So in this case, I might have gone for something like, in the anime, what's the right word for it? Creators of the guild left one of his weapons to Momonga. I think it was a bow and arrow.
Or an
I'd
Mm.
probably
archer.
use I'd probably use one of those ones, and I'd probably do an archer build. Yeah.
Peroncino sama.
Yes.
Mm.
I think he also
Right.
treats him as one of his best friends, if I remember correctly, Joe.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
There you go.
I'm with you. I would also
Mhm.
maybe select a long range, like a mage or something. Shout out to Sir John and so JDM, Sir Mullen. Thank you for joining us. So Joe, your initial thoughts and maybe what character would you choose if you played this game?
You're right. Overlord. So and I remembered when it first came out back in 2015.
Mm.
Uh, the overall artwork that promoted the anime was a little bit daunting because you would think it's it, because it kind
A
of
horror?
like first impressions like it kind of gives like this horror thriller kind of anime,
Mhm.
and then when you read the synopsis of it, oh, it's an MMORPG kind
Mm.
of thing, anime. And before this, there was already like Sword Art Online,
Mm.
and even before this, like Dot Hack Sign.
Oh
So I'm
yes.
familiar with the theme. So I did check that out. First episode. Oh, uh, despite the appearance of the main character, I like his personality though. Like, I mean, we will talk more about him, but despite his appearance, he kind of struck me as a very introverted guy, very introverted but very sentimental as well. Which I kind of like because I kind of see myself in him.
Mm.
Very loyal, very committed to the cause, and despite of everything else, he very principled as well. But um, I mean, I have a feeling that if he could, he could have changed the way he looked, but he couldn't because he's stuck with his OC, meaning his original creation, his avatar. So,
Mm.
but then again, um, throughout the story, he kept the part, he acted the part of the overlord, quote unquote, and the overall anime is not just horror slash thriller.
Right.
It has its own twist of drama. It has its own twist of comedy as well. So it, to me, the first season has a good balance of all of those.
Mm.
Action as well. You know what? The fights in here, I mean, they did not necessarily phone it in. Money was placed into this. Okay, and throughout the season, when I first watched it in 2015, it was one of those animes that I really looked forward to every week, and to the point that I couldn't I couldn't wait to the next episode or to the next season, that I started reading the manga out of desperation. And even the manga was so slow, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm reading the novel instead,
Mm.
right?
The light novels.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those animes that the lore and the world building is so vast, and it's so interesting that even if without the visual cues of the animation, you might as well just read the novel, and then with the images that you already have in your head because of the anime, and the voices that you already heard from the anime, when you read the novel, you can't help but imagine it's them talking, and the voices in your head, it's coming from the voice actors. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Anyways, it's one of those. I can't really recommend this show enough, and it's one of those animes as well that we kept on hounding Sir Joel to watch, but out of principle, Sir Joel won't watch it for a while until this podcast gave him a reason to watch Overlord finally. Anyway, back to you, Sir Harvey.
Well, Joe raises a really good point on this one. Actually, the way that a lot of anime do do it, I believe, is that they serve as a promotional platform for the other forms of the media. The anime is like a glorified commercial for everything else that the IP
From the
has. So
source.
yes, exactly. So if you watch the first season, you say, "Oh, I want to find out more about the characters and what happens after." So they buy the manga, they read it. They buy the light novels, they read it. They buy the merchandise, and if the manga and the light novels continue, then they keep buying that because of how slow the anime is produced. And eventually, even if the anime only comes out with only one season or two seasons, if the manga and light novels and other merchandise are interesting enough, people will keep buying them. And if we get more seasons of the anime, lucky. But if not, then people will just continue buying the anime, the manga and the light novels. So I believe that is the structure of most anime, that they serve as gigantic commercials for everything else that the IP has. Video games too. The video games can more video games can be produced. So I guess that's one thing I've observed. A lot of the anime in the old days and even now only produce one or two seasons, and they just don't continue. They just continue with the manga and the light novels. So what can I say? Back to you, RV.
This
Yeah.
got four on the movie.
uh, I just want to shout out to Sir Viraj in the chat. He
Mm.
actually asked quite an interesting question. He asked, "How much adult
Mm,
content is there in this
mm,
anime?" Well,
Okay,
it's good.
adult
The very
how?
first,
Okay,
mm,
let's be careful with it. Adult
mm,
how?
mm.
pretty
Well,
much the first episode. Like, if
mhm.
you remember the first episode, we'll track back to the
Yes.
first episode where
Oh, does that
he,
count?
well,
Yeah.
Does
I
that
would
really
say
count?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so
It's
he
the
does
I mean,
this.
first
they
thing.
didn't even show it though.
Yeah, it's the first thing that people see when they boot it up. So it's like it does count, John. You'd better believe it. Yeah.
So
Pussies.
what I'm saying is, in the first
Mm,
episode, as he wakes up and realizes, hang on, why am I still in
mhm.
my character? Well, I should have been logged out by now. He
Yes.
does these quote unquote experiments to see if what if this is real life or if there's just some
Is
bad
this
dream.
a real life? Is this a fantasy?
He realizes that he can't do his normal commands like open up the GM chat or whatever, and then he then proceeds to start fondling Albedo, which is kind of she is the head of the floor commanders. So for about, I'd say, a minute or so, he's just kind of fondling her chest. So yeah, I would count that, but there is definitely more in the season.
Mhm.
Is it suitable for
Yes.
kids? I would
No.
say
Well, let's put
mature
it this
mean,
way:
audience. It's
the
mature.
kid
I mean,
has to be more mature than Saturday
it's
morning
mature, yes.
cartoon kids.
Mm,
Saturday morning cartoon kids are a different breed because they're more like the age 3 to 6 or 7, shall we say.
yeah,
Those that it would not be suitable for that level, but
yeah.
maybe from age 8 onwards when they're more familiar with how life
I
works. Yeah.
I would say, okay. So if we're going to compare it with Deadpool, the
Mhm.
movies, do
Yes.
you think it's up there or a little bit toned down?
Bit more toned down,
Mm,
I'd say. Bit more
yeah.
toned down.
So
Definitely more toned down.
It's
Deadpool
like
is
so
a lot more.
so Marvel Deadpool basically.
Yes. So let's use Marvel Deadpool as a standard. It definitely is less raunchy and less gory than Marvel
Mm.
Deadpool, but I would still caution kids who are not as familiar with things like that from watching it because yeah, it does have those elements. It's true. And I don't know. I mean, Mark, I want to hear Mark's opinion on this because I think he may be the youngest in this group. So what do you think, Mark? You're closer to that age range than we are. Do you think it's appropriate for children? This anime Overlord.
hindi, hindi papasok.
Hindi.
No, 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 no.
Mark
So
says
oh
no.
what? So what? So it should be canceled. It's so violent. This show is violent. Should be canceled.
It, it's disturbing, yes, but as
Mhm.
for violence, parang it's more like controlled violence for me. So parang
Mhm.
ganun level.
Controlled violence. All right,
Uh,
I can accept that.
Oh man, yeah. I guess.
I
I
think it
guess.
doesn't go over the top. There is a level, but it doesn't go overboard. I think.
Yeah, not like episode 1 of Goblin Slayer or something like that. Yeah.
Mm.
oh,
I mean, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because in Goblin Slayer there was actual rape in there,
Hmm.
yeah.
although
Yeah.
implied, but it did happen,
Yeah.
right? And then in here, first episode aside, yeah, there was some chest fondling,
Hmm.
very brief though, like maybe a
Oh,
couple of seconds,
and
and then they cut it off.
don't forget, completely consensual.
Yes, yes, it
Completely
Hmm.
was.
consensual. Yeah, he asked
Hmm.
for permission and she obliged.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. But then again, he did change her settings
That was
to
funny. That was
oblige
funny.
anyway. So I'm not gonna say 100% consensual.
Hmm.
Anyways, in terms of gore, there's blood.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Okay, I mean there's blood in here, but is it like blood, guts, and entrails everywhere? Not really. I mean, even with the battle with Clementine,
Hmm.
not, I mean they handled that fight as
Hmm.
cleanly as possible.
Right.
Although what she did with the party,
Hmm.
and we'll talk about this later,
Yes.
and the way she dealt with
Hmm.
the four members of that party.
Hmm.
Mm.
In the novel, it was pretty graphic,
Ah,
but the anime just uh, cut that off. They just went straight ahead of them being dead. Oh, mild spoilers, guys, but still.
No, it's 2015, so the statute of limitations is
10
passed.
years.
Anything more than 10 years, if you haven't seen it and you get spoiled, it's your own damn fault. That's one of our principles here in the Otakunauts. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm, mm. I think so. Moving, I just want to get your thoughts on when he changed the settings. I thought that was pretty funny.
Well,
He
Um,
didn't know.
yeah.
All right. First
Yeah.
thing, first of all, he didn't
No.
know
Mhm.
that he's it's gonna turn out that way anyway.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah, which is a bit
oh,
of fun.
oh,
Yeah.
it's a bit of fun. I mean, hey, the server's going down anyway.
Mhm.
Let's just change her settings for shits and giggles. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think actually that's related to real life
Mm,
MMORPGs. A lot of MMORPGs sunsetted already, and a lot of the players decided to hang around to the very last second of those MMORPGs. This
No.
scenario of Overlord actually is realistic because of the fact that
mm,
a lot of people do hang around and do a free for all at the very last hour of the MMORPG closing down. A lot of people just decide, the hell with it. Let's just destroy everything. Let's do everything. Let's say what we want because we're this place that we've called home for the past 10 years is shutting down and disappearing forever. And I do see that realism in Momonga's character, in that sitting down and just fiddling around with everything at the very last second, because what else is there to do? You're just going
yeah.
to it's all going to be
Yeah.
going away
It's gonna be
anyway.
cool. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
let's see what happens if we
Just
do this,
fuck it.
because
Let's
exactly,
change
yeah.
the
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, other MMORPGs like Ultima Online, if I remember correctly, some other MMORPGs like RF Online, when they closed the servers, all the players just decided, let's hang around one last minute and then let's do this, and yeah, I see the realism of that in the Overlord anime. So yeah. hmm but yeah, the changing the settings, I can imagine you want to see what happens if you do that. And like Joe says, Momonga had no idea of the result of that action, so you can't fault him for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. I'll shout out to Serverage. He says, blood, I'd say 12 rating, but the boob squeezing is a sexual and is 15 rating, I would say. So John says
then
solo
then
leveling.
then Viraj is not familiar with 90s anime like Ranma, or
There
like
were plenty of stuff the 90s anime got away with it. I mean, if
yeah.
Yeah.
Server Watch was like watching the some of the stuff that we were watching back in the
Mm,
90s, yeah,
mm-mm. Oh yeah, and you've got a
he
lot
would be
to.
the first one to say cancel everything, and he would be the
Yeah,
first one to pick it.
Viraj would just keep screaming haram, all throughout. But yeah, in Mark's case, you've got a lot to go through, Mark. And I'm not quite sure if you're familiar with all of these ones, but back in the early 90s, going to the 2000, it was a free for all, and
Mm.
yeah, it was just we knew back then that these things were played for comedy. We just had a lot of fun with it because it was completely harmless to us, because we knew in real life we would never do that. We would never go to the point that we would actually go and squeeze somebody's assets when we got into real life. We saw it, we laughed at it, we thought, that's funny, and then we
I
moved
mean,
on.
nowadays there's a lot of people who are soft,
Yeah. Well, let's just go out and say it,
so
pussies.
politically incorrect. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah,
grow
let's just
up.
go. Yeah, just say it. Just you guys need to toughen
I
up.
mean, let us goon in peace, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Serverage says he is aware of Ranma due to the games, but in those
hmm
days there was no regulation. And so John
hmm
says solo leveling is more bloody than
Well,
Overlord.
Um,
Is
correction,
it?
Viraj. There was no regulation. There was self-regulation because people had common sense. People knew what was real life, what was fantasy, what was correct, what was incorrect, what was right, what was wrong. People back then knew, and I do agree. One of the things about that one is that parents were raising you the proper way. So
Mm.
anyway, continue, RV. You
Yeah,
were about to
yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, Sir John says solo leveling is more bloody than Overlord.
No,
I'd also like
mm, okay,
to.
I don't know. I
Mm,
mean, in solo leveling, they were fighting more monsters
Yeah,
than
that's true.
actual humans anyway. And even
hmm
if there's like blood, it's like if the monsters were too overpowered fighting against the human hunters, then yeah, sure. But in Overlord, they're pretty much fighting humans most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
haven't
true.
seen solo leveling. Is it similar to Overlord? Is it worth my time? Would you say,
I
guys?
would say my daughter saw the entirety of the Overlord saga. Sorry, of the Solo Leveling Saga, and she says the first season was really really good, and it slowly declined. She
Hmm.
says it
Okay.
kind of went down a little bit. Yeah.
The power creeping is questionable. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And
Fair enough.
yeah, and I guess in my case, when I saw Solo Leveling the first season, I would say there's something about, I know there's a certain approach to overpowered characters. The the main character in Solo Leveling lacked the relatability for me. Something that you would relate to because he felt dead inside already. He just didn't feel like
Yes.
he didn't feel, it didn't feel like you could relate to him because there was no sense of discovery or happiness in what he was doing. He was just going through the
Yeah,
motions.
he just likes
Yeah,
to grind. That's it.
exactly. Yeah, and I
Like
didn't really
grinding
feel
and
like,
grinding
yeah,
and grinding,
exactly. You
just to
didn't
the point of
feel
getting stronger.
any relation to him, and I guess that's one thing that's important to somebody like me who watches anime and manga and movies and music and plays video games, the relatability. And I've said this over and over again to Mark, the emotional resonance of you connecting to the characters. If you don't feel the resonance of your emotions to the character's resonance, then it just doesn't connect and fly for me. So yeah, Solo Leveling.
I would say because he was so weak
Mhm,
and he was so insecure about everybody else so
mhm,
strong
mhm.
and being an F rank and all. I think that was his main motivation in getting stronger.
You know,
But
mm,
but when he already reached that point, he
mm.
just kept going on and on and on.
There's a difference there. I want to bring this up. The main difference between Kirito from Solo Leveling and Sung Jin-woo from what's the name of that anime that we recently reviewed, Joe? The Korean one.
Soul
Uh,
leveling,
no. Yeah, that's Solo Leveling versus Sword Art Online.
so
Sorry
that
about that.
online.
So Kirito from Sword Art Online versus Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling, is that you saw that Sung Jin-woo had the same motivation. He saw everybody more powerful than him, and he wanted to grind forward because he had a motivation and he had a reason to, because he wanted to get stronger for other people, for his mother who was sick, for the people that he met. He
Yep.
wanted to be as good as them, and because he admired them. Kirito from Sword Art Online felt dead inside because all he had was the grind, and there was no other motivation for him except to get stronger. He didn't do it because he wanted to help other people. He didn't do it because he had a final goal of rescuing somebody who was sick. I know it might have shown
He
later
had
on in later.
nothing else
Yeah,
going on in life.
yeah,
Like
he maybe,
the
yeah,
game is all he has.
yeah, and in a way he was like a, I guess the very personification of a neet, somebody who had nothing
And this
else.
is pretty much the same thing with
Mhm.
Overlord.
Oh, there
Okay,
you go.
we're
That's it.
bringing it back to Overlord
Yeah, bringing it back to
because the
Overlord.
main
Yeah.
character here,
Mhm.
with Momonga, his real life character, does not have anyone, does have not anything.
Mhm.
He goes to work and then home. No family,
Yeah.
no close friends.
Mhm.
His Technically his family are his friends. I mean,
Mhm.
his online friends is his family in a way.
Lang.
The 41 members of Ainz Ooal Gown in the
Mhm.
Great Tomb of Nazarick,
Yeah.
right? That to him, those guys
Are his
were
family.
his family,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And yeah, I mean, all of his earnings from his job,
Mhm.
most likely he's a salary man, most
Mhm.
likely,
Yeah.
like an office worker, most likely.
Mhm.
Uh, all of his earnings he's just spending in this game for 10 years, right?
Whale.
Right? We all can relate, like all of those microtransactions, all of the DLCs are all going in this said game.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. I mean, there are some people who are like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's a commentary, actually. It's a social commentary on people who have completely disconnected from anything that's real life and have made the online fantasy their entire personalities. I guess it's
Mm,
it's something that you have to consider. Is it a good storytelling for you to show somebody who has nothing else? And I guess that's the contrast of Overlord versus Sword Art Online. Overlord, you do show him becoming attached and having family in the game. I don't quite recall because it's been so long since I saw Sword Art Online Joe. Did he eventually ever become attached to people that he got trapped with in the
Yes, I
tower?
mean,
Mhm.
uh, Asuna was the first one,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then eventually he met up with some other party members that he eventually met in real life,
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
especially
mm.
during the last season, during the last episodes of season one,
Hmm.
even more so in season two.
Okay. But in this case, in Overlord, he didn't get that opportunity because they were once the servers closed down, he was just in there permanently, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
All right. Back to you, RB.
I want to shout out to Sir John. He says, typical MMO player. MMO player equals he who has no life, only in game.
Says the
Well,
Diablo player.
Yeah, and the Grand Theft Auto 5 administrator, he has his own servers, you know that, right? And he does role plays in there. But anyway,
anyways,
continue.
we'll move on to episode two. So episode two is where we meet the floor guardians. He asks his all of his floor guardians to meet at the Colosseum, which I believe is in level 6 of the Tomb of Nazarick, and that's where you get to meet his floor guardians. So
Hmm.
you got, for example, Albedo, which is the
Hmm.
leader, the head. You got Shaltia Bloodfallen, the vampire, the youthful vampire,
Oh,
Demiurge,
say her name right. It's
Shaltia,
Shalkia Bloodfooden.
Shaltia Bloodfallen. Then you have Demiurge, a stoic, very calculated, he's very good at strategy. Cocytus, Aura, Bella, Fiora.
Fiore.
That's how you say it. Fiore, and her twin Marie, or Mari, sorry,
Alright.
Mare.
Mare, and Sebastian, or Sebas, sorry, Sebas, last name
Sebastian.
Gian, which I believe was created by Lord Touch Me. So we have some very funny
Awesome
names in
name.
this. We have some really funny
Lord
names
Touch
in
Me.
here.
The,
Uh,
the most chivalrous out of the all members, right? How very ironic.
So Mark, did you have any particular favorite floor guardian while watching this?
Diyos ko, ang hirap kasing bigkasin ng pangalan. I don't know if it's Cocytus or Cocytus.
Mm.
I'll go with
Cocytus.
Cocytus na lang. He's cool.
Cocytus.
He's,
Mm,
he's chill. He looks intimidating, so I'm going with him. He's cool.
nice. Unfortunately, you don't
Insectoid.
see
Yeah.
too
Mm.
much of him in season one. I think if you were to watch season two, if you remember Sojo in the first couple episodes of season two, you see him more in there, but not so
You'll
much in
see
season
more of him.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Oh,
season one, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, in season one, he owned in the last two episodes, you might have seen him kind of do something,
He's
but in
just
mm.
there.
season two, yeah.
He's
I mean,
just there.
he's just there, but in season two, yeah, he really got to shine.
You really got to
Ah,
shine. We won't talk about that maybe another time, but yes. So Joel, any particular floor guardian that you kind of resonated with?
Yeah, I agree with Mark. It's a toss up between Cocytus and Demiurge. Cocytus being a little bit of a comedy relief there also because of the fact that he foresaw the lineage of Momonga going forward with either Albedo and Shaltir, and he was really looking forward to becoming an uncle, or Demiurge who does have the foresight to see what can happen in scenarios going forward. So he makes a fine lieutenant, as opposed to Albedo, because Albedo's utter devotion to Ainz Ooal Gown does blind her to the possibilities of the strategy, whereas Demiurge, being removed from it, does see how the thought process of Momonga goes, and he does see the strategic the strategic advantage and disadvantage, although he does disagree with some of his movements, like when Momonga decided to go against Shaltir all by himself. He disagreed completely with that one. He saw the strategic advantage of having everybody go forward. But that's going to be for a discussion for later on. So yes, it's a toss up between Cocytus and Demiurge for me.
Nice,
Oh.
nice. Yeah, I definitely in the kind of latter seasons, like season 2, season 3, you really get to see more personality from, especially Demiurge, and it's really
Nice.
cool to kind of see like it's kind of funny. Just to not to spoil anything, but he kind of he has this plan, but Lord Ainz is kind of unaware, and Lord Ainz like, oh, you just tell the plan,
Okay,
Lord
got it. Got it.
Demiurge, even though
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on, even though
Okay,
Lord
got it.
Demiurge
Got it.
thinks he knows what's going on, but
It's the old
well,
it's the old story of the master and the student who switched places,
this
and
which yes.
when the student was asked, okay, how many stars are in the sky, and the student says, oh, that question is so easy, I'll let my student who I
Uh,
who is actually the master answer that question. So anyway, that
that's
yeah, I remember that one. Okay.
so Joe. Any particular floor guardian you like in this episode?
The
May introduce.
first time I watched Overlord back in 2015, the Guardian that I was not really interested though, but I kept an eye on him because he looks so sneaky.
Mm,
Demiurge. Why?
Demiurge.
I don't know. The first time you've seen this guy, he has this red orange striped
Mm.
suit, right? And he has these glasses, sure, and he looks so very impish, uh, demon kind of appearance, and it's like and I'm thinking out of everyone in here, you would think this person would be the first one to betray him.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, he has that vibe,
yeah,
Mm-mm.
right? I mean,
Great.
if you haven't watched Overlord like at all, and then you'll ask, you'll ask a question to a casual anime watcher, and then you'll ask them, which among of these characters do you think will betray the main character? You know
Mm-mm.
what? Most of the time they'll say this guy,
Yeah,
Demiurge, because he just that
they'll say
look.
that guy's sus. Okay.
That Yeah, that guy is sus,
Yeah.
right? No, no, no. I mean, seriously, if you guys don't know any of these characters as of yet, right? If you let them stand in a line and then ask who do you think is the most sus among these motherfuckers, you'd say Demiurge, right?
Oh yeah, and
Anyway,
it does lead to his visual design. It shows
it
Mm,
is
that.
visual
yeah,
design,
Yeah.
visual,
Right.
right?
yeah. So,
And
Mark,
go
Yeah,
ahead,
go ahead.
go, go, go.
Finish your point,
I
Joe.
want finish your point, just so Joe. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, but in terms of since we're talking about some characters here, I would say because if those people who are aware of the lore a little bit more than I do, and somebody
Mm.
correct me if I'm wrong, Albedo is designed as the tank, so
Oh,
she has most defense
cool.
in terms of raw power, strength, raw power. Cocytus, of course, is the main one. In terms of intelligence and dexterity, Demiurge is the
Mm.
go-to guy. So they have this three-way deadlock,
Mm,
basically. But in terms of overall combat ability, yeah, Shaltir.
mm.
Ah,
Mm. And that is why in the last three episodes of Overlord, the Ainz or Momonga has to be the one to fight Shaltir.
When I was watching this, I was always curious because in the latter episode, like episode 3 and 4, and as you go through the seasons, season one, you eventually find out he's just so overpowered that who's gonna be the enemy at the end? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, which we'll
Who can
again
oppose him?
discuss. Yeah, who can oppose him exactly? And you kind of think, okay. We will definitely talk about Shaltir Bloodfallen and how she becomes kind of the quote unquote opposing him later on. But yeah, I wanted to ask Sir Mark because you mentioned the design, Sergio. Sir Mark, as a designer and artist yourself, what do you think of the designs of the Floor Guardians?
Typical enemy villain design.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah, he's
for
like meh. I mean, it's not like my design. No,
hindi naman.
Oh no, you should
eh,
see
my
some of
designs are
the
better.
you should see some of Mark's villain designs in an upcoming project that we have. You guys will find out later on. But anyway, you should see some of his designs, and they're so much more interesting. But anyway, Mark, what's your comment? So you think that they're typical if they were just like they were just common enemies drawn by a regular guy? Is that right?
Not really. I mean, they have their charms. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're wearing this tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
Albedo's wearing like a gown. Except for Coquito. Yun na lang talaga yung suot
Yeah,
niya, parang armor
yeah.
niya, and
No, no,
then
no.
that's it. I mean,
Coquitos is
it
absolutely naked. Anyway.
oo nga, yun na lang talaga eh. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they look cool. Their designs are cool, but for me, it's like parang talagang it looks like 2015 design. So,
Mm,
yeah.
mhm. Okay,
Mm.
got it, got it. So it doesn't have the creativity in terms of visual aspect, would you say, Mark?
Not not much.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
much.
Yeah,
For me lang
it's a
yun,
fair.
ha? Mamaya
No, no,
may
no, no.
magkagulo dyan.
No, 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 no. It's a fair assessment because they do come off as quite sure. They do come off as slightly generic, especially in terms of the formality of their presentation, because of the fact that they look like castle staff, shall we say, right? Hmm.
I
Except
mean,
for
they. I
the
mean,
other
yeah.
characters in the future
Hmm.
episodes. Yun,
Yeah.
cool yun. Yeah.
Mm,
But for the Floor Guardians that are presented from the season 1,
hmm.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. How about you, Joe?
Oh no, I mean, they did say that the floor guardians, each of the floor guardians anyway, were designed by Momonga's colleagues, his friends, right?
Mm,
And their, I mean, their designs were pretty much the extension of their idiosyncrasies, their kinks, their taste. Like for example, with uh, like example for Demiurge, he was created uh, by uh, one of these friends of Momonga,
mm,
and he designed him to be such a very like a have a very high negative like a very negative karma level
mm,
of evilness in him. So he's more into torture, he's more into pain, realization and everything like Schadenfreude, like he doesn't care. And or with Lord Touch Me, right? With Lord Touch Me, very chivalrous guy, very fair, likes to help people out. He's the creator of Sebas, right?
mm,
Sebas is like very polite,
right.
very strong, very polite, very righteous. So in terms of getting along with each other, Demiurge and Sebas never really got along in the same level. I mean, principal level, they never really got eye to eye because Sebas is like what's the word for Joel? That D&D terms. He's neutral. His
Yeah,
what's the affiliation of that?
I guess he's lawful
If you're
neutral. Hmm.
he, lawful neutral, and Demiurge would be chaotic,
Yes, chaotic neutral.
right?
I'd say not chaotic evil. He would be chaotic neutral. Yes. Yeah.
Right. I mean, with Sebas, he's neutral, but he's more on the good side. With Sebas, he's like
Mm,
all the way there, chaotic,
Mhm.
like the bad chaotic side, right?
Yes.
And then you got the twins like Mara and Fiore. They were the creators. They were created by Buku Buku Chagama Sama. Buku Buku Chagama, basically a voice actress, and she likes lollies. She likes shotas. That's why the design is like that.
which leads to the fact that this has to be probably 8 to 10 years old children above. This is
Children and
not
above,
represented.
right?
Yeah.
Or Cocytus, who speaks like an old samurai.
Mm,
Right.
He was the creation of Takemi Kazuchi, who's
Ah,
a if you're gonna look at him, his design is like Bishamon from Darkstalkers. So like a demon samurai, but
mhm,
very uh he observes the Bushido kind of way.
very
So
principled.
and that translates into Cocytus in
mhm,
his attitude or his attitude, his principles, and all that. So yeah, basically, yeah, they're the extension of whatever the kings or the idiosyncrasies of their creators. Basically, yeah.
Mm. I particularly
Back to you,
like
Sir RP.
Sebas. Um, in season two, you get to see a lot more. He has like his own personal story, or is it in season two, where he saves a girl. In season one, though, he's mainly tasked to gather information as
Information.
yeah, as Lord Ainz or Momonga is still trying to figure out what's happening. As he is this he actually I think in the because I've been listening to the audiobook as well. He was like, I'm not sure if this is Yggdrasil, the second game, the sequel of the game, or am I actually stuck in the game? And so he sends out Sebas along with I think Solution, one of the mates, because Sebas is the
Solution.
head. Yes, he is the
Solution.
he and she they both go and gather information. I believe it's in one of the later episodes where Shaltir Bloodfallen also tags along with them, and she unfortunately. I don't think they've really answered this. Not in at the end of season one, or even the
yeah.
episodes that I've watched up because I've watched up to the season three and the movie. They haven't answered like what happened to her really.
Huh?
Basically, um, I guess she gets mind controlled, and they believe, or like Lord Ainz believe, it's a super world tier item that mind controls Shaltia. Basically, be- she's now the enemy, and so that's
Mhm.
who the enemy at the end becomes. So she becomes the enemy in the last two episodes, 12 and 13. It's basically Lord Ainz going up against her, but um, gets to track it back before in episode three. They go. It's called the Battle of Khan Village, where Momonga sees that Khan Village is under siege by invading forces and goes to rescue them. The next episode, episode four, Momonga defeats Sunlight Scripture that was invading Khan and launches a campaign to take over the world, or in his case, the game that's in the world. So, and that's where he meets another character. This game is this sorry, anime this is full of lots of characters, and there's so many different characters and stories that to explore. It's really cool. That's one thing I like about it. But another character you meet is Gazov Stronov, um, and he helps Momonga helps him to defeat and save Khan Village, and now Khan Village is under his protection. So Joel, your thoughts on that episode and that kind of
Episode 2 to 4, I think.
yeah, there's like two
Yeah.
to four. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say uh, it showed how much of it showed how much of who Momonga truly is as a person. You saw that he really doesn't have too much of a connection to humans because right from the get-go, when he started seeing all the carnage that was happening in the village, he really
Yeah.
didn't particularly care about
Nah.
the humans getting killed. All these
Mhm.
monsters were just, savaging all these people, cutting heads off and everything like that. And he said, I don't want to interfere in that. It might be one of the regular things happening in
Ain't
this
nobody
world.
got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. In this case, it went against my principle as a writer, as a person, as a human, and as a good person, because it feels like the connection to humans was not there as a character in Momonga. It As a person, the moment that you see somebody in trouble as a human, sure, it leads to it lends to other species as well. If you see an elf in trouble, if you see a goblin who's who looks like inaapisha in trouble or something, your empathy goes out. You want to help out those people. But in Momonga's case, he really did not want to get involved, and I'm not quite sure if that is something about his having become an undead character, because that's how he explains it to
Exactly.
himself, where he loses his humanity, or is it something that was inherent in him from before that he really didn't want
He
to get, yeah,
he did
didn't get
say
involved?
that. Yeah, he did say that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, uh, ever since being in this
Mm-hmm.
new world,
Yeah.
I think I'm losing my humanity.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really
Mm.
affect him for some reason.
Like
Or
I mean,
killing people. Yeah.
he did acknowledge it. He did acknowledge
or
it.
is it something that just got amplified that was already there from the beginning? Because as the fact, as Joe mentioned, he really didn't interact with humans in real life anyway.
Indeed.
So it just didn't feel like something that he would actually do in real
I
life. Hmm.
I would say not 100. I would say not 100%. It's not
Hmm.
there
Yeah.
because if that was true,
Hmm.
then when he remembered the virtue of Lord Touch Me saving him,
Hmm.
he would be like,
Mm.
"I don't care if he saved me.
Yeah.
I don't know these people.
Hmm.
Fuck them."
Yeah. That's true. That's
But
true.
no,
Yeah.
because he still remembered that debt, that
Hmm.
life debt.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pay it forward. If he
Mm.
really didn't feel anything at all, he would say, "Who cares? I mean,
Possibly.
Touch Me is not here anymore.
Hmm.
Who
Yeah.
cares? Fuck it."
Although, yeah,
Sir
going
Mark, I
forward
mean,
though,
do you agree with that?
yeah, and let's hear what Mark has to say.
Actually, that's also my question when I saw that episode. So, was it, is it in him already before pa, or
Hmm.
is it just he's just embracing what
Hmm.
he becomes? So,
Hmm.
parang okay, this is my life now. So, I don't know.
Hmm.
So, I'm trying to get some questions from Boss Joe kasi siya yung mas familiar in this anime. So,
Hmm.
I think yeah, tama si Boss Joe.
I would say I'm just small story arc there. It goes completely against the heroic trope. Uh, I'm sorry to have to say this, but Ainz or Momonga is not hero. He's he's
No, it's not.
really, no, he's not, no. And that
Hindi.
I don't see the hero's journey
I
inside
mean,
of
the
him.
main villain here
Yeah,
is the hero.
exactly. Yeah,
The main character is
Right.
the main villain here.
he does, he's not a hero. He doesn't feel like there's there's something to be said about there's Darth Vader. He's evil. Technically speaking, Darth Vader is lawful evil. He follows the rules. He wants to protect his domain, but he's evil. But there is this hero's journey for him from beginning to end. You see at the very end of it, he does regain his humanity, his empathy, and because of the fact that he saw that his son is in trouble, and he does everything he can to protect him. I don't see this developing in Ainz from the way that this anime is shaping up. I'm not quite
The
sure
I
if
would
yeah.
say because because
Mhm.
the anime studio couldn't was so troubled on how can we express all of Ainz's
Mhm.
personality
Mhm.
into animation because there's a lot of nuances of him having this
Mhm.
inner monologue about
Uh-huh.
Mm.
himself in the light novels that
Ah.
for some reason they couldn't put it
Mhm.
into into visual animation. So
Mm.
in the anime there is, yeah, I mean, like Sir Joel mentioned,
Mhm.
it just didn't show.
Yeah.
But to all of those people who actually read the novel, there's a lot more depth into Einstein's personality on
Mhm.
why is he acting like this. Uh,
Okay.
I
Oh.
mean, it's not. I mean, Sir Joel is right to point all of those
Mhm.
flaws.
Yeah.
He's not wrong in doing
Mhm.
so, but in a, in in the anime studio's defense, they just couldn't.
Mhm.
There's just no time. I mean, they were
That's true.
cramming 4 arcs of the
Mhm.
novel into 13 episodes, so
Okay.
they had to pick whatever.
Well, that's the thing. It's there's well, I guess in a way it's lost in translation, shall we say? Would you
Correct.
say?
I
Yeah,
would
it's
say, yeah.
lost in translation. It's a lot like how those of you who are familiar. This is stepping out of anime. Those of you who are familiar with the graphic novel Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, it is the absolute one of the absolute best Batman stories of all time. Batman is 50 years old. He's retired from being Batman, and he gets called back to become Batman one last time because of a giant threat to Gotham. The graphic novel has a lot of inner monologue of how Bruce thinks of coming back into Batman. When they did the animation of it, the animated movie of the Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, a lot of it was lost in translation because you didn't see the inner monologues of how Bruce is thinking about becoming Batman again, what he has to do. So I guess that's what happened here, Joe. Would you say that the inner monologues, that inner conflicts that Momongo was feeling as he was going through all of these arcs was lost in translation, shall we say? Okay,
Mm.
got it. Okay, well,
You also hear like when because he has the voice when he's speaking as Lord Ainz Ooal
yes, it's
Gown,
very different. They're very different voices. Yeah.
and then you hear sometimes Momonga in the background
Yes.
saying, "Oh, what's going on here?" Something like that. You hear
Yes.
his kind of inner voice, if you want to
Yes.
call it that,
Hmm.
and as well as something because I've only listened to volume one of the audiobooks so far.
Are
It
they the
does
same
also
voice actors? Are they the same voice actors in the audiobook as the anime, or no?
no, it's just someone reading, just like as
Oh,
normal.
oh,
Just
okay, okay. I thought
yeah,
because
just
some
yeah,
audiobooks have the actual voice actors of the English cast in the anime do
yes,
the
yeah.
audiobooks. So I guess
Mm.
it's different here then.
They couldn't
Anyways,
afford it.
Yeah.
that's sad.
It's a lot
Okay.
cheaper this way.
Okay. Although that would
But
be cool though. If that
it
would
would
be
be
cool at
cool.
the end. Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Yeah.
continue. Mhm.
I think it does mention as well as because you have this he's an undead character, he's an overlord, or like one of the elder leeches basically is an undead character, all skeleton. It is kind of hard to portray sometimes emotion through that kind of because he doesn't speak or it doesn't really when you see him on
He has no facial expressions that he can
facial
work with.
expressions, yeah, facial
He's
expressions, and
just poker face,
obviously
like literally.
exactly, and then so
Although
you
you
have
can argue that Muppets can portray a lot of emotion, even if it's just a
oh
static
100%,
Muppet. Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
no, I mean
100%,
with Einz, no, I mean it's just the bony face. It's just the skull.
yeah.
Like I mean, there's nothing there.
But
Hmm.
no, but to Sir Joe, there is a lot in the audiobook that I was kind of listening to, or in the
Hmm.
light novels, that it doesn't because they're trying to cram so much in 24 minutes, or not even, it's like 21 minutes if you count the intro and the
Right.
outro. And so they're trying to cram so much. And I believe season one is volumes one, two, and three, if I'm not mistaken, Sir Joe. I think it's volumes, and
Correct.
that's a lot. I think just to give you an idea of how long the audiobook is, volume one is like 8 hours, and I'm only like halfway through. So there's a lot of content that they've taken out from the audiobook or the novels into this, and just also to your point, Sir Joel, if because he's like I guess a bad guy kind of conflicted. He's a human in an undead. Is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? In episodes five, six, and seven, you kind of see him going off as an adventurer with one of his battle maids, Nabarel. In this case, they don the aliases Lord Momon and
Uh,
Nabe.
Nabe.
nah,
Nabe,
nah.
that's it. So they go off to Erantel and take on quests so they can build up their ranking, and they go on a journey. They go and join a local team of adventurers, and to escort one of the Enfrey, I think his name is Enfrey, one of the local chemists. He makes like potions and stuff there, and they escort him because he's going to go pick all these
Neferia.
ingredients for his Inferior. That's it, or Envy. I think later they
Neferia.
Inferior, yeah, and
It's really
so
hard to pronounce the name.
it is
Neferia.
quite.
That's very
And so they go on this journey. They actually, in one of the episodes, episode seven, it's titled "The Wise King of the Forest," where they encounter a fearsome beast known as the Wise King of the Forest, which is just a giant hamster, which he bested, and now the hamster is kind of is loyal to Ainz Ooal Gown, But that role now, he's kind of becoming the quote unquote hero. What say you, Sir Joel, in that regard? Now,
And becoming the hero. Actually, I was kind of interested in that portion of it. Like I
mm,
said, I like the hero's journey. I like showing the goodness in people. I like how it will show the journey of one person from just a regular bystander to somebody who does everything he can to make everybody come out safe. And I guess I did like that arc of it, but I guess it showed how I was severely disappointed by how the Dark Sword Guild or something I forgot was
Sword of
treated.
Darkness.
Sword of Darkness group was treated because of the fact that yeah, they were being built up to be this shall we say alternate group that he hangs around with, and they had a lot of potential. You know, he saw that they worked well together. Sure, Momon was overpowered when he was with them, but he saw them work as a team, and he saw little reflections of his original guild in them. So that's one thing that I was really looking forward to. But the fact that their lives were cut short and they became zombies, that he had to execute them in the end of it as well,
mm,
was terrible for me because that's just bad storytelling, if you ask me. If you want, if you want them to die and become zombies and get cut down, yeah, sure, but there has to be a way to kind of bring them back to be able to fulfill their anticipated roles in my case, because I want them to shine. I want them to develop. I want them to go into the same hero's journey that was kind of promised to me, and it was just yanked out from me from like a rug. It was just yanked out of me like a rug from under me. So I was
All right.
disappointed in that.
If you're going that way, then that
Uh-huh.
means you're angry with, I don't
Mhm.
know, the guy from the guy who writes Game of Thrones.
Game. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm angry with George R. R. Martin. He's a terrible writer. Yeah.
With yeah with what with George R. R. Martin, right?
Yeah. I'm.
So
Yeah.
in by the logic of Sir
Mm,
Joel here,
yeah.
I'm getting to know all of these characters.
Hmm.
I'm growing to love them, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna kill them anyway.
Yeah.
What the
I
fuck?
mean, in a way,
Why am
in
I
a way,
investing?
in a
You're
way,
making me invest so much time and
yes.
love out of these characters, and
Mm.
then you're gonna kill them
Well, in a
right in
way,
front of my
yeah.
face.
I would understand if it led to something that would be for the greater storytelling good, shall we say. But technically speaking, they've become a footnote in the development of Ainz Ooal Gown's character. Because if from what I'm seeing, they really don't matter to him in the end. Sure, he just did a throwaway line like, "Oh, I just went on one adventure with them." You know, despite his growing emotional attachment to them, and it looked like he was enjoying their company. When they died and he had to cut them down, he just said, "Those are just guys. You know, I don't care." It it didn't feel like there was you know, sure, I'm overusing the term, the emotional resonance wasn't there as a person for me, for Eins to have been connecting to these people, losing them, and there's nothing, it didn't really affect him at all in the end. It's like blue balls, shall we say.
mm.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I kind of
Hmm.
agree in your sense. Like when
Hmm.
when you see the when you watch those episodes and you see,
Hmm.
oh, the Sword of Darkness have the
Yeah.
you have Ninya and all these characters. Oh,
Hmm.
they have really cool interactions with
Yeah.
where I think it was Peter or one of the guys like hitting on Nabe, for example, and you all say,
Hmm.
oh, hope this continues, and then a couple episodes later, they all get killed by Lady Clementine, and you're
Hmm.
just like, oh no.
No, no, no. The thing about it is, I'm not opposed to them dying if it serves to give more impetus for Ainz to say, wait a minute, I'm starting to feel more because of the fact that these guys went, you know, I started to connect to them and they died. I'm slowly regaining my humanity again because of these guys. But in the end of it, once they go, they get killed. You know, spoilers, whatever it is. Um, it doesn't affect him at all. It like,
No.
all right, these are just guys that I went on one adventure with. I don't care about them.
Mm.
That completely destroys the humanity aspect of Ainz for me. And I just kind of disassociated with him from then on. I
Yeah.
saw it as a downward trend for me because I can't connect with this guy. There's
No, that's
nothing
fair
growing
call.
in
Fair
him as a
call.
human. Yeah.
Fair call. I want to ask Sir Mark. Sir Mark, do you think maybe because he's played this game for 12 years now? You
Mhm.
know, it's like a virtual reality game. He's so immersed that he can't disconnect from reality of his own world. In now that he's in this game where, and he's still a human, like inside, you know, mentally, but now he's just like an overlord, and killing people is just part of the game for him.
I mean, actually, from Boss Joel's insight, I think it's a good mirror or representation of Ain's adventure from that episode. I mean, imagine they're building up this band of troops or mercenaries or warriors, then eventually dropping them biglaan dun sa story, and they became zombies na lang bigla. And Ainz was like, hmm, okay.
Mhm.
Oh well.
So they're dead. So parang it's a good mirror or representation of Ainz from being, yun nga, yung pag-build up is parang that's a part of being Ainz. Human side, then parang magiging wala na siyang pahiramdam
You
after
know,
that.
that's another thing. Another thing that I can say is that at the early part of the anime, he saw the massacre of the village, and after
Mm,
which he said, "I could resurrect all these people, but it would freak all these other villagers out." So you know that he was justified in saying that, but he saw that these good people that he adventured with, sure, it's one time, but he saw their good interactions and their potential, and they got killed in the most heinous and unjustified way. He could have resurrected them in his own manner too, but he chose not to. He's just whatever, you know. You can argue that it's cost, but it's not so much cost because he saw, yeah, because the cost of well, spoilers again, of resurrecting Shell Tier is 50 million gold coins or something like that. But for him, resurrecting an entire village is nothing. So that means that the resurrection cost is based on power level and scale. And these guys were just starting off on their adventure. It would have just cost him pennies to resurrect them, but he didn't.
Mm.
right.
So yeah. Mhm.
So Joe
Joe, I want to hear Joe's thoughts on that.
is about to say something.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, I'm just letting you guys talk because you are not wrong
Okay.
in that kind of assessment. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I was the same camp in a sense with you guys the first time I watched this back in 2015
Mm,
because yeah, I mean the story was just keep going on its fast paced storytelling narrative that it's not letting itself breathe a little bit more to give those quiet explanations on why he has to do what he has to do them. Like he will, I mean, Ainz will say a dialogue, like a brief, like one sentence, two sentence that will say this and that. But unless you stop and think about what he said, which kind of explains why he did what he did.
mm,
Okay, so for example, when you regarding with the Carney Village, knowing what I know now, and then rewatching it again for this episode, there were a lot of things that he was having that he was having some inner turmoil inside him in the light novel. Why the pros and cons of reviving the people from the Carney village.
mm,
Number one, they were just teleported in this world without that much knowledge. What he knows in game is not 100% translatable to the world that they're in.
well,
He does not know if resurrecting these people are pretty much the same as in game. And even if if it's the same, then that means okay, our assets that we have right now, it's not like in the game that can be replenished,
Mm,
can be returned, can be regained. In this world, once we spend something, it is gone, and we're
Mm.
not even sure if that, and they cannot really afford to fully test it out, or at least they found someone at least worthy enough to be saved. And if Sir Joel is questioning th- all the people who are dying now in season one, wait until you get season two, season three, and season four. Okay, there are a lot of other people there that you'll get to know, and then oh my god. All right. Uh,
ah,
in that regard, I mean, we're talking about the anime here. Sure, yes, there were a lot of things that that the anime studio had to leave behind.
mm,
So they only cherry pick a few dialogues, a few lines from the novel that kind of make you okay. We're just gonna leave it here, and then hopefully you guys are intelligent enough, or at least you'll be smart enough to interpret it how you wish. And I'm saying that very politely. Let you guys interpret this what he said as you wish. It's basically an interpretation without reading the light novels themselves. In regarding with the Sword of Darkness members, in the novel, he was hesitant to kill them. Like when they were
Mm.
zombies, he was hesitant to kill them. And even
oh,
then, yeah. But in the anime, like he just off them.
mm,
Uh, st- they're zombies. Go straight for the head because there's no other way for them. There's no other way to subdue them.
Oh, no, no, no.
You
That
know,
one I
killing them
understand.
outright.
Yeah, that one I
Right.
understand. The
Yeah.
zombies, you just lop
Yeah.
them off.
He was
But,
in the
yeah.
novel. He was hesitant to do so, but
Hmm.
here he had in the anime anyway.
Hmm.
He was made. He was made into he looked like he made this decisive action right immediately. Like he
mm,
didn't hesitate. Like he wasn't reluctant in any way. He just did what he did, right?
Hmm.
And we can understand that, sure, because
Yeah,
um,
undead. That's it. Yeah.
yeah. If there were if the studio was like they're saving time, sure, let's just do this. Let's just do this quickly.
Mm.
Again, it's I mean, I can we can understand why the studio had to cut all of those out. Um,
ah,
him reviving them, sure. I mean, in the again, I'm sorry to do this, but in the novel, he was very upset with them dying, like Sir Joel mentioned, because in this few episodes of the anime, we got to know Ainz as the sentimental party member, like he was. Like I mean, at the very least, he's still that insecure uh spell that insecure magic caster that he still cling on to his old party members, that he's still thinking about them. He's very lonely. Okay, so at the very thought of a new party that somewhat resembles his old connections with everybody else. Oh shit! They remind me so much of my old party, right? And w- when Nina asked, "Oh, hopefully you'll be able to find a party just like them eventually," and then he said, "Fuck that! That ain't never gonna happen." Which so uh, in that scene, it was such a powerful scene. Like the way the voice actor of Einstein delivered this performance that it 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 sounded like some shit happened. So if you're like for example if you were there, like he didn't say what happened with the party members, but the way he told the story, they were like, oh, some shit must have gone down,
Oh no, that came across
right?
in the anime.
That,
Like
that
an
It
old war
like he
veteran.
was like
Mhm.
right. So like he was still like he never moved on, basically, if that makes sense. He never moved on. He never moved away from all his party up until this point of the season, right? And it shows again in the later episodes, because when he fought, and then we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of stuff. It's still, I mean, narratively speaking, and I'm with Sir Joel with this one. I'm with Sir Mark in this one. Because there's a lot of narrative that they had to cut out.
Mm.
It came across that Ainz is such a cold-blooded killer, or at
Now he's
least this
yeah. He,
this inhumane character all of a sudden. But
mhm.
it's in there, but for some reason it was not properly translated
Yeah, lost in
on
translation.
paper
Yeah. Hmm.
or in animation,
Well,
so to
so,
speak. But
they
it's there. Hmm.
I guess they were working on the principle of show don't tell, and it works a lot of the time. It's just that you
Mm.
have to be effective in showing, not telling. And like you said, Joe, a lot is lost in translation, especially with regards to his inner monologue. But there's a lot of restrictions, I guess, in terms of time and budget that you have to factor in. Yeah. Hmm.
And I would say, yeah, and there was also this line of, okay, if um I have the ability to easily kill them, and if I also show the ability that I can easily revive them, then that will bring unnecessary attention to my guild, to
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
my house.
Hmm.
And I'm not familiar with the world I'm in now. There might be
Mm.
people who are stronger than there are people that might be stronger than me. So I will play it safe, and
Mm.
this must be the natural order of things in this world anyway. So maybe I will lay off all of the supernatural stuff for now, unless it's really, really, really necessary. Until, or at least, if something bad happens in my neighborhood or in my house or in my tomb of Nazarick,
Hmm.
I will do so. But with these people that I don't know personally,
Hmm.
yeah, okay, I'll tone it down a bit. I mean, it did came across kind of.
Kind of, yeah,
I'm
but
not sure if you guys if you guys saw it that way too.
yeah, it does show the difference though in philosophies between Overlord, in his being overly cautious about affecting things and then drawing unwarranted attention to himself, and more modern anime where they say, "Oh, somebody died. Fuck it, I'll resurrect him because I feel like it. I don't care about the
No, I mean, yeah, I
consequences."
mean, you
Yeah,
guys are correct. I mean, he's
yeah,
not altruistic. That's the term
mm,
we were looking for. He's
yeah,
not altruistic in a sense that I will just
mm,
help anyone in need.
yeah, mhm,
He's
That's
more
true.
of he's taking the more realistic approach. Like, in this day and age, like, if you saw
mm,
someone in trouble, would you actively help them out, really?
mhm,
Like, if you see someone getting robbed,
mhm,
are you gonna be the first person to help the person out, or you will be the first person to put out a cell phone, world
mhm,
star,
mhm. Well, that's the
post it
thing.
to YouTube?
Because of the fact that it does show the consequence of being overly altruistic. It does show in this modern world that if you just go and help anybody out willy-nilly, you do get sued. Like that one guy who helped this girl who hit this stranger in the restaurant from with choking, gave her the Heimlich, and she spat out the piece of shrimp, and then later on she sued him for sexual harassment because he touched her inappropriately. Yeah, definitely. It does show that there is caution to be done in terms of altruism. And you're right. I guess that's the situation that he found himself in this new world, which is not really an MMO anymore. He has to be very careful of his approach, but still, as a person looking for a hero and his failing miserably at that, it does leave a sour taste in my mouth, shall we say?
Yeah,
Mm.
because he's not the hero.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I guess.
I mean, I
I
mean,
guess I'm just.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Ainz
Mhm.
himself is a very flawed character,
Yeah.
Mm.
and to be honest, I would rather have that than another Kirito.
Oh
from
yeah,
Sword Art
Oh,
Online.
definitely. No, no,
really?
no, no. Kirito is super flawed. He's dead inside. Ainz is dead
I mean,
outside, but
he's dead
Kirito is
inside
dead
too.
inside. Yeah,
I mean, he's literally dead.
yeah, that's true. Exactly. He's both. Ainz is both dead outside and inside. But
Super
I guess
dead.
that's the thing. It's something that I guess it's something that yeah. I guess I haven't grown in that respect for storytelling. I want the hero's journey for
I
myself.
would
I guess that's one
say
thing.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you
Mm,
guys will also find this,
Mm,
if you'll also agree, but
mm,
in the anime, he's also like to play the part of the leader of Nazarick.
mm,
So in their, I mean, with the floor guardians in mind, they're thinking, oh, he's this powerful. He could care. I mean, all of these humans are trash anyway. So why should he, the supreme being, this overlord character, right? The supreme leader that we have, why should he even bother with lesser beings anyway? So to him, okay, you're putting me in such a high pedestal because in the game you're not really talking, and now that I know that this is how you see me, then I have to play the part. So like
Yeah.
he also has that. Okay, I have these insecurities, sure, but I have to also play the part of the person that you think I am, and I don't want to
I
disappoint you guys if I act so differently. Like for example, if he really wanted to be altruistic, then all of these guys, all of these his floor guardians will never stop asking him questions like, "Why even bother, sir?"
so what you're saying is that he has to play the part because that's what those are the cards that he was dealt. Is that it?
Correct.
Uh-huh. Okay. I guess that's one thing that is a little hard for me as a paradigm because of the fact that many other anime have shown that sure you're dealt a hand of cards, but a lot of the time, a lot of the people who were dealt these cards were found a way to work around them or to go beyond them. I guess that's one thing that I'm having trouble with in approaching this anime. And I guess I have to consider that paradigm that Momonga is dealing with a deck of cards that he really doesn't know what cards there are in there, and he has to play them as they come. I guess you know. Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
Let's talk about the Clementine fight.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Episode
The
9.
Clementine fight. Let's talk about the
Mhm.
Clementine fight.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. So in the Clementine fight, so yeah. Um, with the Clementine fight, I'll just get it out of the way. He said to Clementine, "Oh, those guys. Yeah, I'm not that mad. I mean,
Mm.
this is me paraphrasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys. You killed them? Sure. I mean, do you think I'm mad? No, I'm not mad. If
Mm.
anything, I'm only mad because I'm using them to spread my name.
Yes. Hmm.
But you had to kill them.
Mm.
Now I have to kill you too for being such a bother.
Mm.
But deep inside, oh nope. When he killed her, and he was like, "Oh, I lied. I was
Mm.
really mad for about you killing them. I'm gonna take my time killing
Mm.
you."
Mm.
Oh,
Was
what
that
you did,
said in the anime? I
what did,
don't
yeah,
quite recall. I was that said
yeah,
in the anime?
yeah, because he was, yeah, I think it was the rough translation of it,
Uh,
with the fan subbers
okay.
in the episode when Clementine asked him like, "Were you
Mm.
mad about me
Yeah,
killing
yeah.
them?"
I mean,
He
that
said,
was
"Yeah,
translated, but I'm not quite
yeah."
sure about the part where he admitted to her later on while he was
He
squeezing her to
said
death
he
that
said
he said,
something, and yeah, I mean, I think he said something,
mm,
and I'm reading this based from the
yeah,
fan
yeah,
sub. He
okay,
said it would be very hypocritical of me if I
mm,
say that I'm mad
mm,
because you killed them.
uh-huh,
And then after he killed Clementine, he admittedly said, "Oh yeah, I'm very hypocritical." So
mm.
meaning he was really mad. He was really upset.
Oh, okay, okay. I get
I
it.
mean,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you guys can probably
Mm,
check
mm,
that out.
mm,
The episode before he killed Clementine, and the episode when he killed Clementine.
mm, yeah.
You can, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
you guys can
that's
go back to that. But otherwise, So, Marky, the Clementine fight, go.
Buisit kasi yung CD ko before, around 2016.
Okay,
So, the
bakit?
episode after that fight,
Mm.
wala ako nun.
Uh-huh.
Zero.
Oh, okay.
Kasi cheap siyang VCD that I
Uh,
bought from a nearby wet market
mhm,
before. So it's either the episodes were scrambled, the
mhm,
subtitles are wrong, there
mhm.
are missing episodes. So yeah, as I remember, I don't have that episode after. So as for Clementine's death, yun nga, actually pinag-usapan na natin to before. I think yesterday. I would like to see Clementine thrown straight to Nazarick's chambers. To the most vile floor guardian na meron si Ainz. Because I don't believe that Clementine deserves that death. I want her to suffer more.
Oh, you think
Ganun ako
she got
kagalit.
off easy?
Yeah.
She got
That's
off easy.
too yeah, that's too ano, ang bilis kasi masyado. Hell no, that hug. She doesn't deserve that. She deserves more.
More than that.
More than that.
Uh, be careful with Sir Marky Mark's evil face now. All right. Yeah, Sir Marky Mark is turning heel. All right. How about you, Sir RV? Go.
The female voice actor really sells the character well when she's dying. I
Mm,
mean,
mm,
it's there was a funny quote where she sticks the two swords in his eye sockets, and Lord Ainz
Mm.
is like, I see," and he's got like two swords in his eye socket. But yeah, it's what they say, kill him with kindness. He hugs her to death, and I'm sure Albedo and Shaltir are very jealous of that.
Yeah.
oh,
It's
right,
a funny
right,
way to
right.
get killed. A mage using physical attacks. It
Mhm.
was really very satisfying to watch. On a scale of like 1 to 10, it was so satisfying. She actually thought she had a chance to beat him.
Mm,
That's the funny thing. And even when Nabe was, I think it was Kaljit, his name was the other sorcerer, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the name.
she was fighting the two dragons.
The bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the bald guy, and then
Mhm.
and the guy was like, "Oh, these dragons can withstand magic attacks," and Nabe transforms into the maid costume and just absolutely goes on like a some 10th tier magic spell or whatever it is and kills the two dragons and then you go back to Lord Ainz just could have easily wiped out Lady Clementine. It was very cool. It's one of my favorite episodes out of the season. So there was episode 9, The Dark Warrior. Yeah, it was like I would say also that even though later on you had Shaltia, the other battle coming on, that one was out of season 1 probably the best moment for me.
Oh.
Sir Joel, Clementine fight. Do you
Uh,
agree with Sir Marky Mark?
uh, now it was extremely lopsided. We knew that that Momon, well, yeah, Momon was just playing around with her. It's just a question of yeah, Clementine had absolutely no chance against somebody who's a
No
power level.
chance.
Yeah, absolutely. That Momon had, and I guess it's something that shows how the sadism of what's his name of Ainz Ooal Gown is that he saw that the Clementine had taken away his way of spreading the word about Ainz Ooal Gown because of killing the Dark Sword group, that he showed sadism to having killed Clementine. And um I guess it's paying back Clementine for what she gave to the group. I guess in a way, I do see your point of view, Joe. He saw how that group was treated, so he gave it back in equal measure and a little bit more with some interest. Yeah, I guess it does show how Ainz Ooal Gown wants to put balance in it, but it still feels. I do kind of agree with Mark on this one. Clementine does needed a little bit more punishment, shall we say? And that hug was good, but it could have been more. Yeah,
Could be more.
it could have been
All
more.
right.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. So I think it would be season 3 or
Hmm.
season 4.
Hmm.
This is just mild spoilers, kind of.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, there was this there was this party trying to instigate, uh, or trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Instigate or trying to
Infiltrate.
Mm.
provoke Ainz. He said, "Oh, we know your party. We know your party members. They ain't shit." And he was like, "Oh, really? You know them? Where are they?" And eventually, "Oh no, we were lying." So basically, so he got mad as fuck. And you think what he did to Clementine here is bad? Sir Arvy knows this. What he did with that party who said they know his old friends, but not really. Yeah. Um, it still shows that, yeah, it Ainz is like, I'm I show I mean, I'm with my good behavior. I mean, I love my friends, okay, but I'm terrible with my enemies too. If that makes sense. So he'll stick with his friends. He'll defend his friends to death. And if you do something about said friends, you'll taste his wrath. So he's one of those kind of guys. You know what I mean? Uh, that still just shows the personality of him as a person, not necessarily uh the bony character that he is. It's just him as a player, as him as a person, as a human person, right? Um, yeah. So it was when he was hugging Clementine, those four those four silver plates stopped dropping one by one to signify that what he's doing is dedicated to the members of the Sword of Darkness. It was a very subtle reference to them without necessarily telling the audience that what he's doing is revenge
Mm.
uh, out of what Clementine did to them. So it's just a subtle reference as a acknowledgement of their, I would say, sacrifice, not really, or their death in a way. So he said, "Yeah, death by magic, death by sword, death by hugging. Who cares? You're still gonna die. You ain't, you ain't shit. Your ass is grass. You're still gonna die anyway." I mean, he's like, no matter what he does to Clementine,
Mm.
he wants her dead.
Mm.
so, so I can understand. Yeah, I mean, out of at this point of the story, how terrible of a person Clementine was. Yeah, I mean, personally, uh, I would have liked something better. But he did
Okay.
say, using my magic on you is not. You're not even worth my magic.
That pissed her off.
That pissed her off.
Yeah.
And like, and maybe that was his way of hurting her more, hurting her pride. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sticks and bones can break my backbone, but your words are swords to my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, eh. Anyway, bad puns and all that. So RV, back to you.
Yeah. Just to track back before they had the fight, if you remember, she was like, "Take a look at my outfit." She reveals that she has all these plates on,
Check out
and
my bling, yo.
yeah, check out my. I had to
Check my bling
pause.
bling.
I had to pause just to make sure. Oh, okay, yep, she does has the plate of this
Mm.
person. Okay, yep, that she's yep,
You know
yep.
what? Let me take a look again.
let me just let me just
Mm-hmm.
rewind and
Let
watch
me
it
take a
back
look of the left and the right. Mm-hmm.
in slow mo there.
Okay. How
But
how appalling. Oh, okay. Let me take a second look
look,
just to be sure.
just, but I guess moving on. So after the episode, that was the Dark Warrior. We then move on to episode 10, which is True Vampire, Iron's subordinate. The vampire, Shaltir Bloodfallen, has come under enemy possession. Don't know who. Doesn't say. I think it still doesn't, to my knowledge anyway. Maybe so Joe would know. They still don't reveal who did it. But Ainz must make a plan to rescue her fast. In episodes 11 and 12, Momonga then has to confront uh,
So,
Shaltir in, I think it was like a kind of an open field. And she's just
mm,
kind of standing there. She's not doing anything until Lord Ainz kind of makes the first move. Before he does, though, he goes to, I think, their treasury or like the war room, gathers all this stuff and to prepare for his battle. Shout out to Sir Richard Baronaroika. Thank you, Sir John, for being there. He says Clementine deserved to be crushed due to her insidious act, and I wished for more in hindsight. So there's another one siding with you, Sir Mark.
So basically,
That
Sir
they wished
Richard
that.
is agreeing with Sir Marky Mark.
Yes, and Sir Joe, they wanted more. I think that the
They
death
wanted more gore,
wanted
more
more
carnage.
gore. Wanted more gore. Should
they
have.
wanted more suffering.
Not enough.
There wasn't enough.
Bitin.
But but back to episodes 11, 12. Lord Ainz confronts Shaltir. He makes the first move. So I think he does like a heavy magic attack that kind of gets her attention. And then they start battling. Um, he has to use pretty much all of the items that were giving him from his guildmates. So he starts using like the sticks, breaks them. It's a really cool battle. It's really it really tests him. It was at the start of the season. I was kind of like, who's going to be the one that opposes him? And then we kind of see, okay, this happens. So Joel, what do you think of that battle, and what do you think of the finale? I guess.
Well, I do want to comment that the one thing about Shaltir, that's good design. The fact
Mhm.
that it showed her real form as a horrific vampire, shades of that in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I read
Ah,
the novel, the graphic novel, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and it showed Dracula not as this suave, dead, dignified gentleman. He is that in when he's presenting himself to humans, but when he turns into true vampire form, his teeth aren't these fangs here. They're serrated like actual bats are, and it's not two small puncture wounds here. It's an entire bite here and drawing blood like that. That's in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen book. It does show that's good design here in Shaltir's form. That's her true form as a vampire. She's horrific. She's fast. She's terrible. She's powerful. You think of vampires as these dignified people who are easy to beat. No, they're dangerous. They're fucking dangerous. And Shaltir showed that. It did show why people were it did translate to why people should be scared of a vampire, and that was good design on their part. And for me it was very intriguing that somebody like Shaltir was controlled by this, later on was revealed to be a world level item, which
mm,
kind of hints to the possibility that there might be somebody or something out there that is on par, if not more powerful, than Ainz Ooal Gown's. And he definitely has to face up to that sometime in the future as he goes and progresses through this world. So yeah, I would say that is the biggest takeaway for me in this one, in this arc. And the battle with Shaltir is interesting in the fact that it kind of showed the power levels that Shaltir and Ainz Ooal Gown's was capable of. But you knew that Ainz Ooal Gown was not going to go all out. He kind of hid a lot of what he could do and how he could do it, because he didn't want two reasons. I guess he didn't want to go all out with Shaltir. Number two, he didn't want to expose all of his cards, shall we say. So yeah, I really thought this final arc was interesting, and yeah, I'd say it does lay the groundwork for what happens down the pipe. So yeah.
Mm. Now that there is that kind of threat, like you said, Sir Joel, that is this another player? Is he
Yes.
stuck in here with me? So
Mhm.
it kind of sets the foundation for the next season,
Yes.
which we won't spoil. But so, Mark, your thoughts on the final battle for season 1 between Shaltir and Lord Ainz?
Actually, fuck the battle. I'm more interested in Ainz casting like 50 different magic buff to himself. And it reminds me of Power Rangers transforming. I'm like, bro, come on, Shalter, baka gusto mong banatan na yan. Like, di ba? Like, he's casting fly, bless magic caster, infinity wall, magic ward,
Agility boost.
Oh, but
ability boost,
but that's
noise
because of the
engine.
fact that he's still working with MMO mechanics. That's how he does it in an MMO. Ganon. And that's how I would have done it in an
I
MMO.
would have the same thing.
Exactly. That's it. And there you go. But yes,
I mean,
Mark is interested in how many
as an
buffs he
RPG
had.
player,
Mm,
you would think so, right? I mean,
yeah.
okay, if you're fighting in a boss level, or if you're fighting a boss character, what's the first thing that you're gonna do? You're gonna buff up, right?
Buffs, yes.
Magbabuff na.
Yeah. Lahat ng
Pero
I
mga
mean, so
buffs,
Mark,
you know.
I mean, you're an RPG developer on your
Yes.
own, right? I mean,
Mm,
would you have done the same thing?
mhm.
yes, but the 50 magic spells, the
You know.
setup is very grueling. So,
Yeah, in my case, all those potions that I stocked all this time, fuck it, I'm
I
using
All
know.
all
right.
of it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's put it Kingdom Hearts slash Final
Okay,
Fantasy 7
sure.
terms. You're fighting Sephiroth.
Hmm.
Do you think all of those 50 spells, those 50 buff spells are enough
Likely not,
in a
and that's
Sephiroth
fine.
level threat?
Yeah.
Mm,
No.
bitin.
Mm-mm.
maybe not.
And
The
remember,
ones
you don't know that he has a second form.
the ones that Ainz cast in the anime, if what he did was enough, no. Whatever he cast in the anime isn't even going to be enough for a final boss. We're talking like, maybe a mid boss type of fight, possibly. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that what he did was enough na, pero not for a final boss. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's one thing I'd say. It does work on MMO mechanics, but in Mark, the way that Ainz Ooal Gown did it, he buffed himself up, and yeah, again, use all the potions, cast all the magic, make sure that you're ready to either kick ass or get your ass kicked. Get on.
Yeah, I mean,
As
even Clementine
Yeah,
was using the same thing.
true. Yeah.
as someone who likes to hoard stuff, especially in games
Oh yeah.
like hoarding items and probably never
Pinakatatago
using
ng
them,
elixir.
I'll probably never use them. But
Oh,
if
RV's
there
the
was
kind
ever
of
a
guy.
time,
RV's the kind of
just to
I'm
RPG
a
player who.
hey, I'm a hoarder too. Okay.
These two people. They.
No, no, no,
Parehas
No.
no. I
tayo.
mean, if anything, I'm a hoarder in real life
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
of
Same.
JRPGs,
Yeah. Same.
right?
Same.
Playing role playing games
Mm.
all throughout these years conditioned me to be a hoarder myself.
Exactly.
It's here's this super powerful weapon. Oh, sure, thanks. I'll never use it again.
I'll never use it.
in my bag it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
In
Oo
my
nga.
bag of infinite capacity. Like all items is 99. 999.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you,
But
Game
yes,
Shark.
But in general, yeah, the Mark's opinion is that he's more focused on the mechanics of
Okay.
the battle itself, not so much the battle proper. In my case, I was impressed by the build up and how it sets things up going forward.
Mm.
How about you, Joe? What's your opinion on this final True Vampire arc?
Right? Okay. Uh, Fly. Bless of Magic Caster. Infinity Wolf. Magic
Uh,
Ward Holy. Life Essence. Greater Full Potential. Freedom. Pulse Data Rife. See Through. Paranormal Intuition. Greater Resistance. Mantle of Chaos. Indomitability. Sensor Boost. Greater Luck. Magic Boost. Draconic Power. Greater Hardening. Heavenly Aura. Absorption. Penetrate Up. Greater Magic Shield. Mana Essence. Triple Maximized Magic. Explode Mind. Triple
Two
Maximized
hours
Magic. Greater
later.
Magic Seal. Triple Maximized Magic. Boosted Magic Arrow. It's like he's preparing for sex or something.
No, one good thing about it is all of
Hey,
those.
like greater luck, greater resistance,
One of those
penetrate up.
one good thing about those
Life
names are
essence.
one good thing about the names that the magic spells that he has, all those names are plausible as names for actual
Plausible,
spells in MMORPGs. They do sound like that they are actual spells in MMORPGs. So
right?
that's impressive. Yeah.
Um, so this fight is yeah, I mean, like Sir Joel and Sir Mark and Mark said, him prepping up for this. Uh and this is one of those things that kind of separates Log Horizon, that hack sign, and even Sword Art Online. Because with this, you really, I mean, this one really showed how we actually play out in a MMORPG. Even solo leveling didn't do this. Because in solo leveling, he just went, he just went fight after fight after fight. Like he's not really buffing himself in a way. Like yeah, sure, you can say he's grinding for levels. So he just goes straight to all of his fights with just his skill without buffing himself further. It's just him and his equipment, sure. But with this really showed the MMO mechanics of the show, right? And I appreciate that really. As an RPG player myself, I appreciate the sentiment of buffing yourself first before going for a boss fight, right? The actual fight himself, like, yeah, he did say, you guys are basically my children. I mean, you guys are the creations of my friends, which they left me to be in charge of all of you. So technically speaking, you are my children now. And as your parent, it pains me to see you kill each other. So I would rather do it myself, thinking that he allowed this to happen, so it's his responsibility. And the other floor guardians, like, oh shit! I mean, who among you guys turned traitor? Yeah, we will kill you. Going against the only person who stayed with us till the end, and now you're gonna revolt? Fuck you! I mean, like they were like all of the floor guardians were like, they were in such an agreement that yeah, Schalt here is yeah. I mean, not even considering there's still a way to bring her back. Nope, they just want to say, oh, she already turned traitor. Then let's just kill her off. Like, I mean, there's no sense of sentimentality there. They just really want to kill her off right then and there for turning traitor. I mean, there's no excuse, right? But yeah, so and it's not enough that he casted like all of those spells. He also used those cash items, right? Those cash items and also those world items that some of the floor guardians have. And I also like the three-way deadlock as well with Demiurge, Cocytus, and Albedo. She was there, right? And they called in Demiurge saying, okay, well, so they're fighting now, right? Why are we letting Ainz fight Shaltir, knowing how powerful, how strong, how powerful Shaltir is? Why are we just sitting here, right? Why are we just sitting here? Why are we not helping him? Oh, Lord Ainz doesn't want us helping him. He wants to fight Shaltir alone, and she's like, "Fuck that! If he dies, we're screwed." Like there's no one to lead us. What the fuck are you? What the fuck are you guys doing? And he's about to get up, and then Koki just like, up, slow your roll, brother. Where you going? And he's like, oh, is that how it is? Is that why you're keeping me here? and like, and he's like, if something bad happens to Lord Ainz, I'm having your head, Albedo. So he pretty much told Albedo, I'm gonna fuck you up. And yeah, I mean, I like that exchange between the three of them. The three strongest floor guardians in Nazarick having that somewhat of a dilemma whether should we help Ainz or not, right? I mean, yeah, we know Ainz is gonna win, but he barely won the fight against Shelter. Let's be honest. I mean, he has. I mean, there was this. So he casted this magic, right? This 10th tier magic against Shelter, and what was the magic? All Sir Arvi might know this. Um, something. It's an instant death magic. I forgot the name.
It's not fallen down.
And fallen down. Was it fallen down?
And
Or
for,
all things come to death, or something like that? Or was it fallen down? It's either or. Um. So and right before he cast, right before he casted that magic, he hesitated at first. He didn't want to use it
mm,
because he didn't really he in his mind, in his heart, he really didn't want to kill Shaltier. But he hesitated, but he did activate the spell anyway. So boom, Shaltier is dead. And then yeah, it was nice of it was nice of him to, I mean, it was nice in a sense that we were able to see some cameos, at least their weapons of his old party members here. The bow, the bow and arrow, the armor from Touch Me,
mm,
right? He was able to do that, and yeah, it was a good fight. And to Sir RV's question on who've done it, so yeah, I mean, they didn't really explain this in the anime per se. So unless you really read the manga or you really read the light novel, it was the Slain Theocracy, specifically the Black Scripture group. Okay, and they were not really there per se. Uh, they found Shaltier by accident. Okay, they were looking for someone else, and then Shaltier got hold of this other group of people within the vicinity. She sensed that they're strong, so she went after them.
mm,
And us, the Slain Theocracy, oh shit, a vampire! She's coming right at us. Kill him. So um, Mistress Kyre, that's her name. She was the one who used the world item magic, fall of castle and country, and she hit Shaltier with that. That's the absolute mind control magic, and it only works if the caster of that said magic is alive. And he's the,
okay.
and the caster has the only absolute right to order the object of possession, which is Shaltier. However, when she got hit, she was able to kill the caster as well. So Shaltier is now mind controlled, but the caster now, the controller, is dead. So no one's controlling her. The condition is that for every person who will come across within a specific distance from her, she will attack automatically. Like
I
maybe
see.
like maybe like 3 or 5 meters. If you're close enough, she will attack you automatically, regardless of who you are. So in the novel, they tried killing her. So for everyone who tried to approach her, they're just dead. So black scriptures were like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, as long as we're not we're not approaching her, we're not getting killed. Let's just leave her ass alone, right? So that's why. So that's how. And then up to this point, they don't know who've done it, right? They don't know who mind controlled Shaltier. So throughout season 1, 2, 3, and 4, they don't know who mind controlled Shaltier.
So,
In the very last, okay, so I'm spoiling it a little bit. In the very last novel, like uh, volume 15 or volume 16, he finally found out who done it, and it's like, guys, we found out who who brainwashed Shaltier. Bring everyone. Like everyone. Like how many people do you need? How many people do we have? We will attack Slain Theocracy.
wow.
And now it's hype, right? So now instead of people fucking them, now it's them to fuck them. You know what I mean? So now its own, basically. Its own. So yeah, Nazarick will in the final volume of Overlord, Nazarick will attack Slain Theocracy.
Hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So it's the way it is. It's not one person controlling everything. It sounds like there's a,
The
I
rise of
guess,
the NPCs.
yeah, something like that, or a system itself that might be working against, Ainz here on this one, if that's
Because
the case. Because
he thought it
where
was
would
just another player stuck
yeah.
There's
stuck there
a
as well.
lot of things
Mm,
working against Ainz. I mean,
okay.
we're just talking about season 1. I mean, season 2, season 3,
Mm,
season 4. You guys will you'll realize, oh, there's a lot of machinations going on in the background.
mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sir Richard. He says, seriously, with hit critical negating your life bar to a single digit, it is nerve wracking. Yes, so in
Oh
that
yeah.
battle, Shaltier had like a weapon that every time she would hit
Mm.
an enemy, in this case Lord Ainz, she would gain her health back. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So yeah,
Health
vampiric.
absorption, yes,
It's
yes,
vampiric.
like a regen, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Right.
So yeah, overall, I guess we might as well bring it home because we're approaching the 2 hour mark.
Hmm.
Yeah. Overall opinions. Mark, what's your opinion of season 1 of Overlord?
It's it's a cool anime because like what we've talked about, it flips the usual isekai story or trope on their head. So instead of the typical hero's journey that we are sanay na tayo, na yung protagonist is building up his way to fight the demon lord. You start right at the end game with a maxed out level and being the most OPS character ever na meron doon sa world na yun. So, if I'm going to, paano ba? Kung sasabihin kong you need to watch this, yes, you need to watch this because if you are a person who's getting bored in his life and you want to embrace your inner evil, this is one of those animes for you. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I not only watched season 1 but up to season 3 and the movie as well, The Sacred Kingdom. Um, for me, season 1, I really enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, loved the Clementine battle. Was extremely satisfied with how that all played out. Maybe to other guys, I think they wanted more. That's fair. That's fair. But but
You enjoyed
definitely,
it enough. You had to watch season 2, season 3, season 4, and the movie.
and
That's
Wow.
how much you enjoyed it.
That's how much, yeah, I enjoyed it. And I'm listening to the audiobook now. So volume one.
Oh,
But
see?
yeah, yeah, really good. I also, because we had other animes as well that we were gonna talk about. But this one, as soon as I kind of watched this one, like, because we were only supposed to watch 5 episodes, but then I kind of like, oh man, I want to know what happens at the end. I wonder who's going to be the
Right.
main enemy that opposes Lord Ainz. So yeah, definitely worth a watch, guys, if you like isekai animes. But yeah, so Joe.
All right. In my case, yeah, I I appreciate the storytelling. I appreciate the world building, the way that Joe described it, the way that the anime presents it. There is a lot of lore to dig into from the way that it is, especially what the way that we saw it in the mausoleum, because it did show how Ainz Ooal Gown as the guild was structured and how deep their past went. They had a past. It looks like they had a lot that they'd gone through, and it was very hard to show it in one season of anime, unless you run at the pace of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which slams an entire season of anime in 2 to 3 episodes. But the thing about this anime, sure, it doesn't fulfill my longing for the hero's journey because I'm that kind of person. I guess my mind is I have to change my paradigm when I'm watching something like Overlord of this or the Saga of Tanya the Evil, where the main character is not a bad guy. They're not it doesn't sound like they have a redemptive arc to them. It doesn't sound like there's something that will turn them from this evil bastard into a good guy at the very end. Um I have to adjust my paradigm for that, and it's a little hard for me because I've grown used to the fact that somewhere deep down inside this guy is fundamentally good, and eventually it will happen to him. I guess it's something old school in me ever since Star Wars and Darth Vader turning good at the very end of it, or whatever. In the end of it, because that's what I long for. That's what I'm
Mhm.
looking for as a person, somebody who wants to see the good in him reflected in what he's watching. It's a little hard for me. And I might have to come back to this anime sometime in the future when I've matured enough that I can see it from the point of view of somebody who is fundamentally not good and will might not necessarily be good in the future. So yeah, I did enjoy it for the world building, for the storytelling. The animation is good also. It's not as um I hope it doesn't suffer the same fate that uh uh, uh what's that anime mob character, something like, it's hard being a mob character in an Otome game. I
Otome
forgot.
game, yep.
Yeah. Where the animation on season 1 was really good, but when we started watching season 2 it was terrible. Yeah, my daughter was severely disappointed by that.
I think they switch anime studios. Yes.
Really? Okay. For the good or
Oh,
for the bad?
Mm.
Oh,
Uh,
we're talking about. I thought we were talking about Overlord.
oh no, no.
The
Even with the Otome,
uh
it's hard to be a mob in the Otome game. I think they
yeah.
switch studios,
Oh, that's
and
good.
even then,
Hmm.
I read the manga. I mean, because I also read the manga. They
Yeah.
changed a lot of stuff as well,
Okay. Okay.
storytelling
Got
wise.
it. Got it. So
So
yeah.
what we're seeing now in that anime, to me,
Mhm.
it's foreign. Like I'm not even sure what's going on.
It might as well be a brand new anime, not even
Yeah.
based on the. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, Overlord seems to be a good series for the people who are interested in that kind of thing. Sure, it's got isekai, it's got world building, it's got lore, but yeah, call me somebody who likes his genre the way it is of the good person. Might not necessarily start as good, but eventually does turn out good. It's a little hard for me to digest. I might have to grow a little bit more in my journey for me to fully appreciate this series. And I might come back to it in the future, but as it is right now, it's not my cup of tea. But I won't hold other people off from watching it. It is something that is enjoyable for those people who are looking for this kind of thing. So yes, I would give it an 8 out of 10
Hmm,
as an anime. Yes. Hmm.
nice, nice, nice.
Hmm.
So Joe.
Um, Ainz as a character, you can tell he is good when it comes to his friends. You
Friends.
know his I mean he acts differently whenever he's with friends, whenever he is with his floor guardians. He acts differently when he is among people he sees as friends. To all of those people who stand against him, who perceives him as the enemy, he can be ruthless. And
Yes.
that is what Sergio is talking about because he is not that the usual altruistic hero main character,
Mhm,
especially back from the 80s and the 90s.
yeah.
He's a little bit different
Oh,
here.
no, no, no,
The
no.
character here is different.
I mean, think of it this way, kind of like the recent He-Man movie.
Mm.
Um, I I can be I can be strong. I can use force. I can use violence, but I choose not to. But if I am forced to, I can. And I see that in Ainz also. It's just that what threw me off was the fact that he doesn't see the the being protectiveness of not just the people who are kind to him, but also the weak and the helpless and the people who he has no reason to protect. I didn't see him doing that. The reaching out to help other people who are weak and helpless and powerless. He didn't reach out to help them. Also,
And
I
that
guess
is
he
the
didn't.
flaw
Mhm.
of season one
Yeah.
because if we're judging it by season one standards,
Yeah.
he, in terms of a character arc, reaching that level of him having that so-called hero's journey, it's
Mhm.
not there because the anime studio here at the time and even the main author here were still betting on season 2, season 3, season 4.
Mm.
So it's not like a complete package in this season. So there's still because yeah, they were still betting a lot more on the
Mhm.
next seasons there to flesh out his character more. So
Mhm.
if we are just judging it by season 1, yes, I mean
Mhm.
he's not there yet.
And
At
that's
least
the
to be
difference.
fair, to be fair,
Mhm.
he's not there yet
Mhm.
on what Sir Joseph is expecting.
Yeah, that's the difference between that author for Overlord manga, and me as an author, as a writer. Because for me, as a writer, I would have all those seeds of who the person is already right from the beginning. I'm not going to wait for him to develop later on in later chapters or seasons. Right from the get-go, I want that seed already in there as a person to be there. And you can see the logical development of him as he germinates and grows as the story develops. Not that it pops up later on like, oh, it's there, but I didn't see that in the beginning. You have to see the little bits and pieces of who he eventually becomes right from the beginning, right from the get-go. I guess that's one thing that me as an author, I write it out, and I guess you'll find out in my writings, not just in books, but also in some upcoming projects that you guys will find out about as we go. So, but we'll make those announcements later on. But anyway, continue, Joe.
No, I mean, in terms of narrative wise, season 1, again, it's it's an understandable fault of the anime studio why they had to cut a lot of content out. I mean, if this was like in the 90s where a season is like 26 episodes or 52, then and that's just one season, right? Because back then the season is like 24 episodes, 26 episodes, even 52 episodes, right?
Oh, I remember
If
those
this is
good old
that kind
days.
of
Yeah.
anime,
Hmm.
then we will have a different kind of discussion here that yeah, it
Hmm.
took yeah, sure, we can argue it took 52 episodes until Ainz reached that he reached full circle from his lonely days all the way to achieve that hero's journey and that we old school anime fans were looking for, that we're more accustomed to. But no, there were there was a lot of limitations, there were a lot of constraints. 13 episodes
Um,
just to cram like what three the first three arcs of your story, right? So again, again, Sir Joel is not wrong for his assessment. Okay, but again, it's they had to do what they had to do.
And yeah, knowing that now, I can see looking back at the anime of season one, the compromises that they had to make and the corners that they had to cut. Mm, yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right, RV, bring us home. Up, RV,
Sir Arby's,
you're
Sir
on
Arby's
mute.
on mute.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Yeah, on that note, before we go, Bruno Roca has a message for you, Sir Joel. He said, check Psycho Pass.
Oh, he knows
Like,
Psychopath.
yeah.
So, yeah, check Psycho
Yeah.
Pass. So I want to say thank you to Sir Mile and Sir Jetty and Sir Viraj earlier, Sir Bruno Roca, Sir Richard, Sir John, for all your comments. I want to thank the panelists as well for giving their thoughts on Overlord Season 1. So, Mark, where can they shall tear your blood fallen?
Parang mali yun.
Oh,
Okay. Ayun. Hi guys, and it's me again. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Otakunauts. You can catch me here at Otakunauts, Saturday Smart Talk, and TGS every Saturday. So yeah, see you guys next time.
Thank you, Sir Marky Mark. So, Joel, where can they demi your urge?
hey, thanks very much, everybody, for hanging around and watching this episode of Otaku Knots about Overlord Season 1. You can almost always catch me on the Timeless Gamer Show here on Otaku Knots and the occasional stream, although those are kind of getting more rare now because we have a couple of projects that we're working on right now that we're really, really excited for, and that we will be making some announcements in the near future that you guys here, our regular audience, might enjoy. Again, here on the Timeless Gamer Show on Otaku Knots. I may be away for a couple of weeks or a week later on in the month because of a few things that I have some commitments for. But yes, we have a lot of projects here in both Timeless Gamer Show and Otaku Knots, and a lot of the other programs and our Retromancy Official Incorporated that we would like for you guys to see as we start making announcements. Wait for them. We look forward to sharing them with you guys because we love you. We love you, our audience, and we really want to show our appreciation to you. Back to you, RV.
Thank you, Sir Joel. And last but not least, Sir Joel, where can they lady your Clementine?
Hi guys. I'm always here in this channel every Saturday. Uh, Saturday Smart Talk, Timeless Gamer Show, and Otaku Notes. Whenever, whatever. I'm always here, unless life gets in the way.
Yes.
Okay. You know, we'll provide some bullshit whenever, whenever I'm on. Back to you, Sir RV.
Thank you, Sir Joe. I'm Ivy. You can catch me on Timeless Gamer Show, as well as Saturday Smart Talk and Otakunauts, an anime podcast for cultured men and women. Catch you next time, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks very much. Enjoy your weekends. See you guys again
Bye.
soon. Bye.